Tokyo, over 37 million people. Mexico City, over 22 million. Los Angeles, almost 19 million. Names that evoke images of crowds, skyscrapers, and incessant life. But they also share a latent threat, a beast that sleeps beneath the asphalt, and every now and then, it awakens. The earthquake. It seems like a pattern too perfect to be a coincidence, right? Have you ever wondered, why do the most devastating earthquakes we see on the news always seem to strike where there are more people? Is it the weight of our megacities pressing down on the earth until it breaks? Is it some kind of cosmic punishment? Or is there a scientific truth, much deeper, that we're missing? The answer might surprise you, and I assure you, it's not what you expect. Stick around, because we're going to dismantle one of the biggest and most persistent myths of modern geology. If you Google cities with the most earthquakes, the list is almost a who's who of the world's largest metropolitan areas. Japan, a country with extremely high population density, suffers more than 1,500 seismic events a year. California, the economic engine and most populous state in the U.S., lives on the famous and feared San Andreas Fault. Istanbul, a city of 15 million souls, sits on the North Anatolian Fault, one of the most dangerous in the world. The connection seems obvious. Our brain is designed to find patterns, and here the pattern screams: more people, more earthquakes. But this is a classic mental trap. In psychology, it's called mistaking correlation for causation. It's like saying that ice cream sales cause people to drown in pools. Yes, both increase in the summer, but one doesn't cause the other. The real culprit is the heat. The exact same thing is happening here. There's a geological heat that we're not seeing. And this is where the story takes a 180-degree turn. The question we've been asking is framed incorrectly. It's not, why do earthquakes happen where there are a lot of people? The correct question, the one that gives us the key to everything, is why did people throughout history decide to build gigantic civilizations precisely in the most dangerous zones on the planet? The truth has nothing to do with the weight of buildings or the number of people. It has to do with the very architecture of our world, tectonic plates. The Earth's surface is not a solid, smooth shell. Imagine it like a hard-boiled egg whose shell has been broken into several large pieces. Those pieces are the tectonic plates, and they float on the mantle, a layer of semi-molten rock. And they are not still. They constantly collide, separate, and scrape against each other. These plate boundaries are the real hot zones. For example, when two plates collide head-on, one sinks beneath the other, creating mountains and volcanoes. It's a titanic collision that builds up brutal tension. This is what happens in Japan and on the coast of Chile. When they slide past one another, like two trains scraping on parallel tracks, the friction is immense. Sooner or later, that tension is released all at once. That is the San Andreas Fault in California. 90% of all the planet's seismic energy is released at these boundaries. And if you look at a map, you'll see that most major cities are dangerously close to them, especially in the famous Pacific Ring of Fire, a 40,000-kilometer arc that surrounds the ocean and is responsible for most of the world's earthquakes and volcanoes. It's not that earthquakes seek out people, it's that our civilizations have ironically been drawn to the fire.
Okay, but if it's so dangerous, why do it? Were our ancestors reckless? No, they were practical. The same geological forces that cause destruction also create unique opportunities. First, fertile lands. Volcanic ash, a product of this tectonic activity, breaks down to create some of the most nutrient-rich soils on the planet. They are a magnet for agriculture, the foundation of any civilization. Second, resources and water. The fractures in the Earth's crust often push valuable minerals toward the surface. The copper of the Andes in Chile, the gold of California, they aren't there by chance. Furthermore, many fault lines guide the course of rivers, providing the indispensable source of fresh water to found a city. And third, access to the oceans. Coastlines, which often coincide with plate boundaries, are the highways of the ancient and modern world. They are essential for trade, fishing, and cultural exchange. In short, earthquake zones offered a starter pack for civilization: fertile land, water, resources, and trade. It was a gamble, a geographic lottery that our ancestors won, but with a very high price that we continue to pay today. And the definitive proof, the argument that completely dismantles the myth, is this: do earthquakes happen in completely uninhabited places? Of course, and they are gigantic. In 1964, Alaska suffered a magnitude 9.2 earthquake, the second most powerful ever recorded. It occurred in an area with almost zero population density. Some of the strongest quakes are recorded in the depths of the ocean or in the frozen deserts of Antarctica. We simply don't hear about them because if a tree falls in a forest and no one is there to hear it, it doesn't make the news. The problem isn't the earthquake. Nature is indifferent. The problem is vulnerability. It's what we have built on top when the Earth decides to move. So no, earthquakes don't just happen in overpopulated places. It's the other way around. Large human populations, for logical and historical reasons, have developed in seismically active zones. It's not a myth, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of cause and effect. The Earth doesn't punish us, it challenges us. The good news is that science gives us the power to respond to that challenge. Japan is the best example. Their skyscrapers aren't rigid. They're designed to dance on base isolators and giant mass dampers, pendulums that counteract the movement of the quake. They have learned to live with the giant that sleeps beneath their feet. The next time you hear about an earthquake in a big city, don't think about punishment or mysteries. Think about tectonic plates, about history, about the logic of our ancestors, and above all, about the incredible human resilience to adapt and build in the most challenging places on the planet. This fact blow your mind? If you learned something new, smash the like button, subscribe for more videos that challenge your mind, and let me know in the comments what other myth would you like us to debunk. See you in the next video.